Right now at 5:30, the first televised Kentucky governor's debate has wrapped up. We'll have a look at how the candidates fared in just a few.
And a meeting to discuss Civil War historical markers will take place this afternoon here in Lexington.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. It is 5:30 on your Wednesday. Hope it's off to a good start. I'm Sean Moody in for Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. Glad to have you in.
Yeah, it's nice to be here. Bill had a late night. Of course, he was working the debate last night. Did a good job, and so I'm here while he gets a little bit extra sleep.
We're happy to have you here, and you're doing a good job, and you're nice and perky this morning. Let's see how perky Micah is on the weather department.
It's pretty easy to be that way when you have a lot of sunshine outside, really nice temperatures. It's just been really nice the past few days. We're going to do it all over again this morning as we're staying nice and dry. You look back toward the west, and there's still nothing going on. This is typically where you look to see if you're going to have any weather anytime soon. And the next front is well back toward the Plain States, so it's going to take some time to actually get toward our neck of the woods. Here's your look temperature-wise in the mornings. It's not as cool as the past couple of mornings, but it's still kind of cool outside. It actually feels pretty nice, 82 degrees by the afternoon. So it's getting warmer, guys, and that typically means that a front is on its way. I'll show you when we expect that and what we expect out of it coming up.
All right, thank you, Micah. Happening now, a portion of the Bluegrass Parkway in Nelson County is shut down right now after a semi-truck overturned.
And dispatchers tell us it could take hours to clean this up. WKYT's Mark Barber just got to the scene a few minutes ago, and he joins us live right now. Mark, what's it looking like out there?
Good morning, Sean and Rebecca. This is a major crash scene, and it is going to take them quite a while to clean it all up. I just got here in the past few minutes, so let me step behind the camera now. I want to give you a closer look at the wreck that crews are working to clean up right now on the Bluegrass Parkway. You can see it there in the distance. You can see those flashing lights. You can get an idea already of just how serious this is, but the closer this camera goes, the more you can see that this semi overturned. And now you've got crews out here this morning. They are working to clean up the poly oil that spilled onto the Bluegrass Parkway. Now what we're told happened is that about 11:30 last night, this tractor trailer that you're looking at here overturned here near mile marker 20 on the Bluegrass Parkway. Now right now crews have shut down mile markers. They've shut down the parkway between mile markers 20 and 25 to clean all this up. They say that's going to take quite a while. As you can see, they haven't even gotten the semi back up right yet. They say right now they're just focusing on getting the oil up off of the ground. Now we're told that there could possibly be some damage to the parkway itself. However, that's something that they're still trying to get a handle on this morning. They say before they can figure that out, if this roadway has been damaged, first they need to clean up the mess that is here. You can still see, I'll zoom back in over here near this truck where there is still debris on the roadway here. A lot of that oil is not visible here. I'm thinking that it's probably closer to where this tanker turned over here. Now we're told the good news is that no toxic chemicals spilled out. We're told that the poly oil is really an oil used to finish wood. So fortunately, they say, you know, we're not looking at more of a hazardous situation out here as far as the chemicals entering the environment. But again, this is a major crash and it's going to take quite a while to clean it up. Again, it happened at 11:30 last night. So the fact that they're probably not going to be reopening the roadway here until 8:30 this morning tells you that if you're heading down toward Elizabethtown or Nashville, any cities in that area, you may want to start looking for an alternate route. Now we'll be back again live at 6 o'clock. We'll have a better idea of which ways they're detouring drivers, and we'll bring that to you coming up in our latest hits. And at this time, we still have not been able to speak to authorities here because we just got on scene. So we're going to check in with them, and we will bring you the very latest coming up on WKYT News at 6. In Nelson County, I'm Mark Barber, WKYT.
Quite a mess. Thanks so much, Mark, for those of you headed south, so you'll have to potentially reroute if you're headed down there in the next couple of hours. Well, we have just learned that I-64 in Franklin County is back open. The sheriff's office says that the driver of a pickup swerved to avoid a deer on the Kentucky River Bridge. He ended up clipping a semi and flipping over. Luckily, the driver wasn't hurt. Police had to shut down the westbound lanes for a while in order to get the truck towed off. It is now back open.
The first televised debate for the candidates hoping to become Kentucky's next governor is in the books. Republican Matt Bevin, Democrat Jack Conway, and Independent Drew Curtis debated several hot-button issues facing the Commonwealth last night at Bellarmine University in Louisville. One of the first questions to come up was how each candidate responded to the jailing of Rowan County Clerk Kim Davis. While they disagreed, the candidates did come to an agreement on the importance of coal here in Kentucky.
If the technology actually changes, and there was a new solar technology that came out about 2 months ago that dropped it down to 4 cents a kilowatt hour, now we're starting to talk about a competitive price, and that might actually be the thing that puts coal in jeopardy. But as long as coal has the price power, they're in charge.
Coal is critical. There's more being consumed now than ever in the history of the world, and we need to participate here in Kentucky.
And I've been the only Democratic Attorney General in the country to stand up to the EPA when it is overreached and has tried to hurt our coal industry, and not just hurt our coal industry, Sam, but hurt our low-cost electricity advantage, which we use to lure jobs here in all sorts of sectors.
The next debate will be for the lieutenant governor's race, featuring Sandy Overly and Janine Hampton on September 23rd. The gubernatorial candidates will square off again at EKU on October 25th. And another hotly contested debate is set to take place tonight. Members of that vast field of GOP candidates will battle it out in the second televised GOP debate tonight on CNN. Here's CBS's Don Champion with a closer look at what the candidates will face tonight.
On the eve of the next debate, Republican frontrunner Donald Trump stood aboard the decommissioned USS Iowa last night and declared his opponents lack the ability to negotiate on the world stage.
They're very nice people, but they're never going to do anything with these countries. It's just going to be more of the same.
The billionaire then returned to one of his signature issues, immigration.
We have illegal immigrants that are treated better by far than our veterans. It's not going to happen anymore.
While supporters cheered, protesters booed the candidate not far away. Tonight, 10 of his opponents will try to take steam out of Trump's campaign. They'll also try to challenge him on specifics, something neurosurgeon Ben Carson said he'd do leading up to the debate.
I'm not particularly interested in any person particularly attacking them.
A new CBS News New York Times poll shows Carson within 4 points of Trump among Republican primary voters. Other candidates saw a bump, including Carly Fiorina, who will try to build on that tonight. The former Hewlett-Packard CEO earned a prime position on the debate stage. Don Champion, CBS News, New York.
Now, the latest poll also shows Democrat Hillary Clinton's lead shrinking further. 4 other GOP hopefuls will participate in an early happy hour debate. Rick Santorum, Bobby Jindal, George Pataki, and Lindsey Graham.
In Kansas City, Missouri, police are investigating after a woman was shot and killed during a rolling gun battle. Police say the woman was driving a car with 6 children inside when one of the cars involved in the gunfight crashed into her car. All 6 children were seriously hurt and taken to area hospitals. Officers say the shooters involved in the gunfight were stopped. One person is now in custody. As friends and family of a Kentucky State Police trooper prepare to say their final goodbyes later this week, we are learning more about his accused killer. State Police say Joseph Johnson Shanks shot and killed Trooper Cameron Ponder on Sunday night after a traffic stop in Lyon County. Johnson Shanks was killed Monday morning after a confrontation with Kentucky State Police, but sometime during the 8-hour search for him, he apparently recorded a video and posted it to social media.
I don't see anybody know who I love all y'all, man. I did something I ain't made to. I'm regret it.
Social media shows that Johnson Shanks was part of the Ferguson protests, but pictures from his social media accounts also show him posing and smiling with police during the protests. Johnson Shanks' niece was also in the car. She was arrested for hindering prosecution. 2 children inside the car, ages 2 and 5, were taken into the custody of state police.
Oh, in the wake of Trooper Ponder's death, one Ohio fire department is offering a safe zone for law enforcement and emergency responders. The Trotwood firefighters page posted Monday that their 3 stations in Ohio are now safe spots. That post says that anybody in law enforcement can stop in to catch their breath, finish reports, or finish a meal whenever they want. An investigation is underway after 2 students bought drugs at school and had to be taken to the hospital. Barberville police arrested 2 people accused of selling the drugs. 18-year-old Dante Brown is charged with trafficking, and a juvenile was also taken into custody. Police say Brown was selling a substance that was being advertised as LSD. The 2 students who bought the drugs have been released from the hospital.
Happening today, a review board is set to meet to discuss the future of a historical marker and statues in downtown Lexington.
And those statues, one of John Hunt Morgan and another of John C. Breckinridge, both of them Civil War officers, and a marker have all been recently contested during debates about the placement of Civil War artifacts. WKYT's Michelle Chamberlain joins us from the Fifth Third Bank Pavilion. Michelle, good morning.
Yeah, Sean, today's meeting will consist of 5 experts who will discuss the future of these historical landmarks, such as the one behind me of John C. Breckinridge. He was a Confederate general. Now, the board will meet this afternoon to discuss the future of these landmarks. The other statue also in the discussion is that of Confederate General John Hunt Morgan. And a third piece that experts will discuss is a marker describing the slave trade. The marker was vandalized in July and is currently being replaced. Now, that marker was in a park at Short and Upper Streets. Today's discussion will help to decide the placement of that marker. Lexington Mayor Jim Gray has said in the past that he believes the city must consider the overall effect of these Civil War memorials and that, quote, every Lexingtonian is welcome and supported by our community, end quote. These landmarks are up for debate following the deadly church shooting in Charleston, South Carolina in June. Now, today's meeting will take place later this afternoon at 3 o'clock in the council chamber. The meeting is open to the public. Live in Lexington, Michelle Chamberlain, WKYT.
Michelle, thank you. Dozens of people came to a meeting to discuss the future plans for a recently closed store here in Lexington. Kroger closed its store on Romney Road on Saturday because of declining sales. Urban County Council member Bill Farmer put together a forum last night to talk with people about what they want to see to move into that place. Farmer says most of the people at that meeting said they want a grocery store back there.
Well, the new Fayette County School Superintendent will not be at work for a few days next week. Manny Kalk announced that he will be having sinus surgery. Kalk says he will be in the hospital for a few days and that full recovery will take several weeks, but he tells us he will work from home once he gets out of the hospital. He will hold meetings through Skype and will stay connected, he says, through email and text. It's the world we live in. You got to stay connected even when, you happen to be away from work. It's the cell phone.
And those Kentucky allergies will get the best of us. So
yeah,
best wishes for a speedy recovery.
They're getting me right now.
Absolutely. It's time to check the live drive traffic this morning.
All right, let's see what is happening out on the roads with a look at live drive traffic. And I believe we have Dawn this morning. No, Dawn, actually. Let's take a look at the Waze map and see if there's anything going on. Don't have the Waze map either, but we'll let you know that we are still working that crash. We have a reporter there on the Bluegrass Parkway in Nelson County. If you happen to be headed in either direction on that road, you will be rerouted. Other than that, your commute should be pretty clear.
Yeah, definitely going to cause some issues this morning there in Nelson County. Add some extra time to your commute if you're heading on the Bluegrass Parkway between those mile markers there. There's still a lot more to come this morning. It's 5:42 on your Wednesday.
Some items at a county library in Tennessee keep walking off the shelves, and it's got librarians pretty confused and a little amused. And we have more on that coming up after weather.
That's a beautiful start to the day. We slide into your afternoon, and it's slightly warmer. We're getting warmer here and there, and that typically means maybe some rain on the way. And I'll show you where that falls in our forecast coming up.